Good morning, my dear students. Today I am dealing with 10th standard biology chapter, our environment. What do you mean by environment? Environment means our surroundings, okay? Environment means it is our surroundings. Different materials collected in the environment in different biogeochemical cycles. In this cycle, essential elements like carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and water moved from one form to another form. It is what we call as biogeochemical cycle. The essential elements like carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and water, they move from one form to another form. Such a process is carried out by a cycle. It is what we call as biogeochemical cycles. There are many biogeochemical cycles like nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, phosphorus cycle and sulfur cycle. These four cycles are essential for the environment. It is what we call as biogeochemical cycles. The main four cycles are nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, phosphorus cycle and sulfur cycle. Okay, nitrogen, carbon, phosphorus and sulfur cycle, it is called as biogeochemical cycles. Many human activities affect these cycles. The human processes, the human activities which are carried out by humans going to affect these biogeochemical cycles. Now you have to do one activity in your home. It is related to environment. Okay. What happens when we add our waste to the environment? What happens when we add our waste to the environment? You have to do one activity in your home. What you have to do is collect all waste materials from your home. This could include waste generated during the day like vegetable peels, kitchen waste, milk packets, used tea leaves, empty medicine bottles, waste papers, stripes. Okay, these are the materials. Collect all these materials in a old bucket or flower pot and cover with at least 15 cm of soil. What you have to do is collect all the waste materials and you have to collect the materials in an old bucket or flower pot and cover with at least 15 cm of soil. Okay. After that, keep the materials in a moist condition. You have to keep that materials in moist condition and observe at 15-day intervals. First step, you have to collect all the materials like vegetable peels, kitchen waste, used tea leaves, medicinal bottles. Such materials you have to collect. After that, cover the materials in a flower pot or old bucket and cover with 15 cm of soil. Third step is keep the materials in a moist condition and observe at 15-day intervals. Let us, you are going to arise with main three questions. What are these questions? If you have done this procedure, right? Now you are going to arise with three questions. First question is, what are the materials that remain unchanged for long period of time? Okay. you have to notice what are the materials that remain unchanged for long period of time. And second question is, what are the materials that change their form and structure? If you preserve for 15-day intervals, right, in that materials, which one materials that change their form and structure? Of these materials, third question is, in these materials that change their form and structure, which one going to change their form and structure very fast? These are the three questions you have to identify and answer. You have to do activity in your home. Okay. Various life process or biological process. Life process is also called as biological process. Various life process or the biological process is carried out by environment. Okay, the food what we eat is digested by various enzymes in our body. The same enzyme does not break everything what we eat. Enzymes are specific in their action. Enzymes are specific in their action. The same enzyme does not break everything what we eat. You are not going to get energy if you are trying to eat coal. You are trying to eat coal means you are not going to get energy. Okay. Many human-made materials like plastics. Plastic is one kind of human-made materials, or it is also called as artificial materials. Many human-made materials like plastics will not be broken down by the action of bacteria or other saprophytes. The human-made materials like plastics will not be broken or degraded by the action of bacteria or other saprophytes. Now, you have to know what is enzymes. Enzymes are the thermolabile catalysts of proteins, nature elaborated by living tissues. These are the thermolabile catalysts of proteins, nature elaborated by living tissues. They consist of living tissues. They act as a catalyst. There are several digestive enzymes in our body. What are these digestive enzymes? The main digestive enzymes are amylase. First one is amylase. It is produced in the mouth. Okay, the digestive enzyme amylase is produced in the mouth. Pepsin. Second one is pepsin. Pepsin digestive enzyme produced in the stomach. Third one is trypsin. This trypsin is produced in the pancreas. Fourth one is deoxyribonuclease and ribonuclease. It is also produced in the pancreas. Amylase produced in the mouth, pepsin produced in the stomach, trypsin produced in the pancreas, and pancreatic amylase also produced in the pancreas, and last one is deoxyribonuclease and ribonuclease are produced in the pancreas. These are the 5 main type of digestive enzymes: amylase, pepsin, trypsin, deoxyribonuclease and ribonuclease, and another one is pancreatic amylase. They are produced in the mouth, stomach, pancreas, and deoxyribonuclease also produced in the pancreas. The environment, which carries 2 types of substances called as biodegradable substances, and another one is non-biodegradable substances. What do you mean by biodegradable and non-biodegradable substances? Okay, biodegradable substances means the substances which are broken down by biological process are called as biodegradable substances. Biodegradable substances carried out by biological process, the substances that are broken down by biological process. Such substances are called as biodegradable substances. And what do you mean by non-biodegradable substances? Substances that are not broken down by biological process. The main difference is here substance going to break down by the biological process. The substances are not broken down by biological process are called as non-biodegradable substances. Some examples for biodegradable substances are vegetable and fruit peels, dead plant and animals, eggshells, and waste paper materials. These are the substances broken down by biological process. Example for biodegradable substances are vegetable and fruit peels, dead plant and animals, eggshells, and waste paper materials. Non-biodegradable substances. Example for non-biodegradable substances are plastics, polystyrene, metals, toxic chemicals, paints and tires. Okay, example for non-biodegradable substances are plastics, polystyrene, metals, toxic chemicals, paint and tires. Both are essential for the environment. Both biodegradable and non-biodegradable substances are carried out by environment. Now you have to know about the ecosystem. What is ecosystem and what are the components of ecosystem? Coming to the topic, ecosystem. All the living organisms such as plant, animal, microorganisms, human beings and physical surroundings interact with each other and maintain a balance in the nature. All the interacting organisms in an area together with the non-living constituent of the environment forms an ecosystem. So, the ecosystem consists of biotic components comprising of living organisms. Biotic component consists of living organisms. And abiotic components consist of non-living organisms. Biotic components consist of living organisms, whereas abiotic component consists of non-living organisms. Abiotic component comprising of physical factors such as temperature, rainfall, wind, soil and minerals. Okay. The biotic components are the living organisms and abiotic components are the non-living organisms. The abiotic component consists of physical factors like temperature, rainfall, wind, soil and minerals. Ecosystem is a grouping of organisms that interact with one another and their environment in such a way to preserve the grouping. Okay. There is a great variety of ecosystem in existence. All of them are characterized by general structural and functional procedures. And ecosystem is a dynamic system in an area. Ecosystem is a dynamic system in an area where the biotic and abiotic components. It consists both biotic and abiotic components. Ecosystem is a dynamic system and area. It consists both biotic and abiotic components. They are constantly acting upon each other and they bring about structural as well as the functional changes. Ecosystem means it is a dynamic system in an area where the biotic and abiotic components, they are constantly acting upon each other and they bring about structural as well as the functional changes in the environment. It is what we called as ecosystem. The scientist G. Translate coined the term ecosystem in 1975. Scientist G. Translate, he first coined the term ecosystem in 1975. The community and the non-living environment. Community and the non-living environment together they will function as ecosystem or ecological system. Ecosystem is also called as ecological system. The community and the non-living environment together they both function as ecosystem or the ecological system. The scientist W.D. Billing, okay, scientist W.D. Billing in 1973, okay, W.D. Billing scientist in the year 1973, he classified 5 levels of natural ecosystem. They are nature ecosystem, formational ecosystem, continental ecosystem, earth ecosystem and solar ecosystem. What are the 5 levels of natural ecosystem? Nature ecosystem, formational ecosystem, continental ecosystem, earth ecosystem and solar ecosystem. These are the 5 levels of nature ecosystem classified by the scientist W.D. Billing in the year 1973. The scientist Ellenberg, scientist called Ellenberg, 1973, he classified hierarchy of ecosystems. Ellenberg, 1973, he classified several level of hierarchical ecosystem. In that, biosphere is the largest. Biosphere is the largest ecosystem. After biosphere, next lower level is the mega ecosystem. Such as marine ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem, semi-terrestrial ecosystem, and urban industrial ecosystem. Biosphere is the largest ecosystem. Next lower level is the mega ecosystem such as marine ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem, semi-terrestrial ecosystem and urban industrial ecosystem. After the mega ecosystem, next lower level ecosystem is the macro ecosystem. After biosphere, mega ecosystem. After the mega ecosystem, next lower level of ecosystem is the macro ecosystem. Within each mega ecosystem, they present within each of the mega ecosystem. Understood, right? First one is biosphere. It is one kind of largest ecosystem. After the lower level of ecosystem is mega ecosystem such as marine, terrestrial, semi-terrestrial and urban industrial ecosystem. Next lower level of ecosystem is the macro ecosystem. They are coming under mega ecosystem. And last one, lower level of ecosystem is the meso ecosystems. These meso ecosystems are the basic unit of the scheme. They are basic in the environment. They show basic functions that are related to the environment. So, Ellenberg 1973 has classified hierarchy of ecosystems like biosphere, mega ecosystem, macro ecosystem and meso ecosystems. Meso ecosystem are the lowest level of ecosystem and they are the basic unit of scheme. They are further classified into micro ecosystem and nano ecosystem. Meso ecosystems, they are again classified into, one is micro ecosystem, and another one is nano ecosystems. They both are very small ecosystem. They are coming under meso ecosystem. Micro and nano. It means small or very tiny ecosystem. It is called as micro and nano ecosystems. So, these are all types of artificial ecosystems or man-made ecosystems. Now, you have to clear about the ecosystem. What is ecosystem means? Next, the types of ecosystem. There are mainly two kinds of ecosystem. One is artificial ecosystem. And another one is natural ecosystem. Artificial ecosystems are also called as man-made ecosystems. Artificial ecosystems are also called as man-made ecosystems. They are created by artificial manner. with the help of man. So it is called as artificial ecosystems or man-made ecosystems. Example for artificial ecosystem: cultivation of crops like maize, paddy, wheat. Artificial aquarium and gardens. These are all types of artificial or man-made ecosystems. And second one is natural ecosystems. It is created by God. So they are naturally present in the environment. Example for natural ecosystems are forest, pond and lake. There are mainly two kinds of ecosystem. One is artificial or man-made ecosystem. Second one is natural ecosystem. Artificial ecosystems are the man-made ecosystems like cultivation of crops, maize, paddy, wheat, aquarium and creation of the gardens. The natural ecosystems like forest, pond and lakes. Next is about the principles of ecosystems. What are the principles of ecosystems? The main three principles are nutrient cycling, energy flow, and last one is structure. These are the major principles of ecosystem: nutrient cycling, energy flow and structure. Nutrient cycling means the movement of chemical element from the environment into the living organisms and then back into the environment through organisms live, grow, die and they decompose. So such a process is called as nutrient cycling. Second one is energy flow. Energy is required to transform inorganic nutrient into the organic tissues of the organisms. Energy is one kind of driving force of the ecosystem. Last one is structure. Structure, it refers to the particular pattern of interrelationship that exists between the organisms in an environment. So the process is carried out by nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, etc. are called as nutrient cycling. Energy flow means energy is transformed one form into the another form, and structure means it is one kind of particular pattern of interrelationship that exists or stay in the ecosystem of the environment. So nutrient cycling, energy flow and structure, it is very essential or very need in the ecosystem. What are the components of ecosystem? Based on the functional point of view and structural point of view, the component of ecosystems are classified. Based on the functional point of view, there are two kind of organisms like autotrophs and heterotrophs. Based on the structural point of view, abiotic, producers, consumers, and last one is decomposers. These decomposers are also called as transformers. The component of ecosystem based on the functional point of view and structural point of view. Based on the functional point of view, the organisms are classified into autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs means they prepare their own food, and heterotrophs means they do not prepare their food but depend on other plants for their survival. And based on the structural point of view, the organisms are classified into abiotic, producers, consumers, decomposers or the transformers. These are the main components of ecosystem. First one is abiotic organisms. Abiotic means they depend on directly or indirectly and prepare their food for their survival. Such organisms are called as abiotic organisms, or they are the non-living organisms present in the environment. Next one is producers. Producers are autotrophic organisms like photosynthetic and chemosynthetic bacteria. Photosynthetic and chemosynthetic bacteria, blue-green algae and all other green plants. Okay, producers are the autotrophic organisms, means they prepare their own food. They are photosynthetic or chemosynthetic. They use sunlight for their energy, or they use chemical reactions. Such bacteria are called as photosynthetic or chemosynthetic bacteria, blue-green algae and all other green plants. These green plants utilize, okay, the green plants use sunlight, chemical reactions and inorganic nutrients to prepare their own food. The producers are the autotrophic organisms. The green plants use sunlight, solar energy, okay, and inorganic nutrients as well as the chlorophyll. The main content here is chlorophyll. With the help of chlorophyll, they prepare their food. In the ecosystem, the energy which are present in the ecosystem, it is set or it is done by the help of producers. Third one is the consumers. Consumers are the heteromorphic organisms. Consumers are heteromorphic organisms. They are unable to create their own food and depend on other living creatures. They are further classified into herbivores, carnivores, tertiary consumers, and omnivores. Okay, consumers means they are heteromorphic organisms in the ecosystem. They do not create their food, but they depend on other living creatures or the other life processes or the other organisms. Such organisms are called as consumers. They are classified into herbivores, carnivores, tertiary consumers and omnivores. Herbivores means they also prepare their food. For example, insects, birds and cow. These are the examples for herbivores. Carnivores means the organisms which feed on herbivores are called as carnivores. For example, crow, fox, dog, cattle and snake. Okay, the organisms which feeds on herbivores are called as carnivores. Example like crow, fox, dog, cattle and snake. Tertiary consumers. The tertiary consumers are the top carnivores. Okay, they feed on herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. Tertiary consumers feed on three organisms like herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. For example, lion, tiger and vulture. These are all called as tertiary consumers. And last one is omnivores. The omnivores means they feed on both plant and animals. Example, can you give an example? Human beings are called omnivores. Why? Because they feed on both plants and animals. Other example for omnivores are parasites, saprophytes, scavengers, and predators. Okay, omnivores, they feed on both plant and animals like human beings. Other example like parasites, saprophytes, scavengers and predators. So consumers are mainly four types like herbivores, carnivores, tertiary consumers and omnivores. Omnivores are the human beings, they feed both the plants as well as in the animals. And fourth one is decomposers. Decomposers are also called as reducers or micro-consumers. Decomposers are reducers or micro-consumers. They are tiny organisms like bacteria as well as fungi. The main function of decomposers is they convert complex organic substance into simple inorganic substance that goes back into the soil and used by the plants again. It is the main function. What they will do, the decomposers, they convert complex organic substance into simple inorganic substance. That goes into the soil and it is used by the plants. Decomposers convert complex organic substance into simple inorganic substance that goes into the soil and it is used or taken up by the plants. Such a process is carried out by the organisms and that organisms are called as decomposers. Now you cleared about producers, consumers, decomposers. Decomposers are also called as transformers. Let us discuss about one kind of natural ecosystem, that is pond ecosystem. All of you saw the pond, right? The pond consists mainly three zones. It is what we called as littoral zone, limnatic zone and profundal zone. The pond ecosystem consists three zones like littoral zone, limnatic zone and profundal zone. Littoral zone means it is the shallow water region occupied by the rooted plants. The littoral zone consists of shallow water region and they are occupied by rooted plants. Limnatic zone means shallow to depth of effective light penetration. The light penetration is carried out by the limnatic zone. And last one is the profundal zone. In this zone, no effective light penetration. The sunlight is not necessary for this zone. Here, effective light penetration in limnatic zone. No active light penetration. No energy or no solar light or sunlight is required for profundal zone. These are the main three zones of pond ecosystem like littoral zone, limnatic zone and profundal zone. Next is about ecological pyramids. Ecological pyramid means it's a diagram that shows the interrelationship between the organisms in an environment. Okay, it consists autotrophs or producers, heterotrophs or consumers, herbivores or primary consumers, small carnivores or secondary consumers, and larger carnivores or tertiary consumers. Okay. Each step or level of the food chain which forms the trophic level. Trophic level means food chain or food web. Each step of food chain or the food web, it is what we called as trophic level. Okay. The autotrophs or the producers are the first trophic level. They fix the solar energy and make it available for heterotrophs or the consumers. Okay. Autotrophs or the producers, they fix the solar energy and it is used by the heterotrophs or the consumers. And herbivores or the primary consumers are the second step of trophic level. And small carnivores are the secondary consumers at the third step of trophic level. And larger carnivores or the tertiary consumers involved in the fourth trophic level. Okay. Autotrophs, they produce solar energy. It is used by the heterotrophs. They are coming under the first trophic level, and herbivores coming under second trophic level. Small carnivores, they are also called as secondary consumers. It is coming under third trophic level. And last, larger carnivores, or it is also called as tertiary consumers. They are usually belongs to the fourth trophic level of the ecosystem or the food chain. The autotrophs. The autotrophs capture the energy present in the sunlight and they convert into chemical energy. Autotrophs, they capture the energy which are present in the sunlight and they convert into chemical energy. Okay. This energy support all the activities of the living world. Autotrophs, they use the solar energy and they convert into chemical energy. This energy is utilized by the living organisms. And this energy is used by heterotrophs and the decomposers. Okay. The energy goes to the heterotrophs and decomposers. From autotrophs, the energy goes into the heterotrophs as well as the decomposers. When one form of energy is changed to another form, some energy is lost in the environment which cannot be used by the plant. So, autotrophs convert the energy into chemical energy. They convert the solar energy into chemical energy. This energy is utilized by the heterotrophs and decomposers. Okay. When some form of energy is lost in the environment for several reasons and it is not used by the plants again, such a process, it is what we called or it is carried out by the autotrophs. I already told about the ecological pyramid. Ecological pyramid means it is a diagram that shows the interrelationship between the organisms in an environment or ecosystem. There are mainly three types of biological pyramids or ecological pyramids. What are these? One is energy pyramid or pyramid of energy. Second one is biomass pyramid or pyramid of biomass. Last one is number pyramids or it consists of pyramid of numbers. Energy pyramid means only 10% of the energy is available in one trophic level and is used by the organisms at the next trophic level. Energy pyramid means only 10% of the energy used by one trophic level and it is used by the another trophic level of organisms. Biomass pyramid means it shows the total amount of energy. It consists of total amount of living tissue in one trophic level and energy is transferred to the another trophic level. So it is called as biomass pyramid. Number pyramid. Number pyramid means it consists of number of living organisms. Number pyramid shows the number of living organisms in an ecosystem. Energy pyramid means only 10% of the energy is available in one trophic level is transferred to the organisms to the next trophic level. Biomass pyramid shows the total amount of living tissue in one trophic level and it is transferred to the another trophic level. Last one is number pyramid. Number of living organisms in an ecosystem or environment. It is what we call as number pyramid. These are the main three types of ecological pyramids like energy pyramid, biomass pyramid and number pyramid. Ecological pyramid is carried out by main two processes what we call as one is food chain, another one is food web. What do you mean by food chain? Food chain means series of interaction between the organisms in which organisms get energy by eating or being eaten. Food web means it is the complex interaction within the ecosystem. Food chain means series of interaction in the ecosystem within the organisms and the organisms get energy by eating. Okay? And food web means it is the complex interaction between the organisms in the ecosystem. It is what we call as food web. No ecosystem is present in the food web. They consist complex interactions in the some of the ecosystems. I will give you one example for food chain. It is a series of chain reaction or series of interaction between the organisms in an ecosystem. For example, grass. Grass is eaten by grasshopper and grasshopper is eaten by the frog. The snake will catch the frog and snake is eaten by eagle. It is one chain reaction. It is what we call as food chain. It is a series of interaction in an ecosystem. So grass and grasshopper, they act as a primary consumers. Frog, secondary consumers. And snake, tertiary consumers. And eagle, it is what we call as top carnivores. Why it is called as top carnivores? Because they are present at the top of the trophic level. It is one chain reaction. It is food chain. So grasshopper eaten by the frog and frog is eaten by snake. Snake is eaten by eagle. Eagle is the top carnivores. The food web means it is the complex interaction in the ecosystem. It is made up of only one ecosystem. The series of food chains that are interconnected or joined together to form the food web.